Hello guys, so this is my short take on the Bakhmut situation and what Ukrainian military should do there within like what's actually going on there and what the possible decisions and scenarios that can unfold there. So first things first, I've seen a lot of speculations and a lot of different things about like what's going on in Bakhmut and what Ukrainian military should do. And there are a lot of things like people say that we should retreat, like it's not worth it, and things like that. But the situation is much more deep and complicated than that. And basically, the first thing is only Ukrainian high military command, like really high military command, understands and sees the big picture, the way it is, of like multiple sources and information of actually what's going on. And the are the only ones who can basically make a decision to stay there or to leave the area. And there are multiple and multiple different factors which they weighed in and taken into account before making any decisions based on what's to do in that area. And so to say, the situation there is really complex. It's really hard for Ukrainian military to hold the ground with like Russians sending forces, waves upon the waves. But on the other side, Russians are getting huge losses, like really insurmountable losses with it's sometimes really hardly fathom. So if you think about that they like throwing everything they got, just swarms of people, all of these resources, artillery shells, all the aviation and things like that, and we need to think about like what's they losing there, and they're losing a lot. The other question is it enough to justify staying there? And as I said, only the Ukrainian highest military chain of command can understand and say if it's worth it or not based on their data and things that they have. And everything else, basically, like things that they have and how they understand the situation, is the only way for them to make a decision. And so far, this decision was to stay and to hold the line there. How good it is, how like far stretching it is strategically, tactically, only the time will tell. At the moment, it's really hard to understand and like make a claim that this is the only thing why they made this decision. This is because of that or because of this. It's really complex matter. Of course, it's really hard for Ukrainian military to hold on there, but on the other hand, the losses on the enemy side is like insane. They're insurmountable. They losing a lot of gear, they losing a lot of human resources and things like that. That also hits the spirit of all the other military, uh, not only on that particular direction, because they see that Ukrainians are, we basically like stopping them everywhere, and they can do anything, even like with throwing like swarms of Zorg style things, and we still hold on. Of course, it's really hard. There are like a lot of questions and different things that come into account when you think about that. But on the other hand, only the highest military command can understand what we're doing there, why we're doing it. Of course, I have some friends and battle brothers that are they were in Bakhmut, or they still in Bakhmut, or they fighting there now, and I have some information from them. But still, even with that information, basically from people taking action there right now, I can't decide by myself and say like, hey, this is the good decision or this is the best decision. And what I would say is this, just that this is the decision that we have, and we have to stick to it until there is any other or new decision. So, and I fully believe in Ukrainian high military command in that regard, to understand what are the challenges there, what we have to do, what's the big picture. And if you take into account all this different information online, on social media, on YouTube, and everywhere, you may think that you basically like unplugged or have the picture. And from my perspective, my point of view, I would say that's no, it's a lot of times it's speculations, just because you don't have the necessary information to make a decision and say that, yeah, this is it, and that is why it's happening like that. Because even though there are a lot of information which is like true or seems true or untrue, at the end of the day, only the people directly involved there can know, but they can't say. And even as I mentioned before, that I have a lot of information that, like, not open source, you can find it anywhere. It's not something you can easily achieve. It's like, you may consider it maybe like a secret information and stuff like that, but even I can tell you, like, this is a good or this is a bad decision. This is a decision that we have. I'm leaning towards it's a better decision, probably, but only the time will tell, and only then we'll know how good was this decision, what was behind that decision, and we would be able to analyze and understand why it unfolded the way that it did, and if it was a good or a bad decision. So if you'll have any questions, leave them in comments, as right now I'm a little bit not so occupied, so to say, but there is a lot of job to do. So thanks for watching, and see you around.